Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. Go subscribe and like the video. Today I am talking all about healthy, macro-friendly food swaps. This is something that I really struggled with when I first started counting macros, was what the hell to eat. So, coming at you with some of my favorite switches that I have made that actually taste good and work. So, for those of you who don't know or aren't familiar with a macro-based diet, you are tracking proteins, carbs, and fats. Your protein, you're going to stick with your ideal body weight or your lean body mass if you have those numbers. So for me, I sit at 140 protein, whether I'm in a cutting phase or in a growing phase. Does not matter. 140 grams of protein every single day, which is the hardest number to get. Then carbs are going to fluctuate, as well as fats will fluctuate person to person. If you need help setting up your own personal macros, please reach out to me. I'm more than willing to help you set up those numbers for you. But let's get to it. First up, we got the Holy Grail on Jemima. She's my best friend, but she's not very macro-friendly. So, I switch her out with Kodiak cakes. I personally just like the buttermilk ones because then I will even go and add in more protein powder to it depending on what I need, or I just have my own separate protein powder pancake or waffle recipe. But comparing some of these numbers, so for approximately 2 pancakes that are 4 inches, you get 1.5 grams of fat, 33 grams of carbs, and only 4 protein. It's gonna take a lot of pancakes to get you up to 140 grams. Versus Kodiak cakes is going to be for about 3 pancakes, so you get 1 extra pancake. It's 2 grams of fat, 30 carb, and 14 protein. So pretty similar on fats and carbs, but 10 more grams of protein in this, which is why then we'll go ahead and add even a little bit more of level 1 and just choose whatever flavor that I want to add to it. So, super easy swap if you are a sweets breakfast person. They taste phenomenal still. Next up, sticking with breakfast, we're gonna do oats. So oats actually aren't really all that bad. For half a cup, it's 2.5 grams of fat, 27 carbs, and 5 protein for this kind. So it's not bad at all. I love oats. I eat them every single morning, but I do half a scoop of these oats, or half a serving, I guess, so like a quarter cup of these oats, and then I like to mix in these 100-calorie better oats, or this Think Thin oatmeal from Hy-Vee. It's my fave. So the 100 grams, or wow, I cannot even talk today. The 100-calorie oats have only 18 carbs and 4 grams of fat, or 4 grams of protein. And then the Think Thin is going to have 2 grams of fat, 33 carbs, and 10 protein. So obviously a little bit more protein rich in these, but you can definitely add egg whites or, again, level 1 into your oats to get even more protein that you need for your day. But super simple swaps. These taste phenomenal, both kinds do, and super easy to just take on the go. Next up, we got, I laid this all out not in a very nice way. Eggs. Also, I have to preface that none of these foods are bad for you. Like, as long as you track it and you're in moderation with all of these, you can eat whatever the hell you want. But eggs are going to be very fatty, so someone like me who doesn't have a lot of fat in their day, I don't like to use my fat for them. So instead I do egg whites. Pretty simple swap. I like the liquid egg whites just because it's way easier than trying to split eggs every single morning. Tastes really good. This is pure protein. So if you are always short on protein and you don't like egg whites plain, you can always add in like 1 egg and then add in a few tablespoons of egg whites just to get that protein up, and it doesn't change the consistency of like the egg that you're cooking. Super simple, 5 grams of protein, 0 carbs, 0 fats. The bomb. I go through so many of these. Then another good swap that's probably not as fun, but if you are low on carbs and you don't have enough to have some toast or wraps or whatever else you like to do, rice cakes are the second best thing. I have a rice cake every single morning before my workout. My favorite are the caramel ones, but I do the regular ones in the morning. And these are like a pure carb source with just 7 grams of carbs versus breads that can get up to like, can get up pretty high. So this one for 2 slices has 23 grams of carbs. But again, as long as you track it, none of this is bad. Just simple swaps that you can make if you are finding it difficult to stick within your numbers. Let's keep moving and grouping. Noodles. Everybody loves noodles, but noodles are not that macro friendly depending how many carbs that you have. So for 2 ounces, which does not come out to be a lot, there is 41 grams of carbs in your noodles. But if you get these veggie noodles, you get 10 grams of protein and only 20 grams of carbs with 5 grams of fat. These are the best. I eat them every single day. They are my favorite. I stock up. It's an obsession. But it's fine. We're working on it. Anyways, this is just made out of like veggies. So also if you're gluten free, these are amazing. Highly suggest. 10 out of 10 would recommend. But again, super simple. Plus this you just heat up in the microwave, and this you actually have to cook on the stove. So from a lazy aspect, these are also better. Some good just protein sources. So meats can get kind of tricky depending on the percentage of fat that you get. Like obviously if you're getting beef, 85% fat free is going to be a lot more fat dense than if you get the 93% ground. So if you get 93, it's just 8 grams of fat and 24 protein with no carbs. So super simple. Obviously just track it. Not a big deal what kind of meats that you like or you don't like. Other good ones are these tuna packets. The tuna is pure protein. Again, just the same as the egg whites. Super simple, take on the go. Add it in with other stuff. It's really good if you mix it in just with some veggies and other things. And then obviously like chicken and everything else, like lean meats are going to be a lot more macro friendly to fatty meats or fish or whatever. And then it gets kind of tricky with things like this. So Greek yogurt, we're always told that Greek yogurt is so good for you and everything else, which it is if dairy works for your body. But if you compare like the Greek yogurt with fruit on the bottom that has no fat, 16 carbs, and 11 grams of protein to the Greek yogurt that's just plain Greek yogurt, where you only have 6 grams of carbs and 14 grams of protein. So being able to make just even simple switches. My favorite is just getting like vanilla protein or vanilla yogurt and then shocker, add in level 1 to it, or like some protein granola or whatever, depending on my numbers for the day. But again, super simple. You can add in your own fruit and other stuff, or just track the ones that have the fruit on the bottom if that's something that you need. Another one that is not so nice is sauces. So sauces can get really tricky because they put lots of sugars and everything else in there that jacks up the carb number in them. And yes, you do have to track them because it is still calories that your body will use. So, like this Hidden Valley Ranch, it has 14 grams of fat in it. Versus the Bolt House, which is my absolute favorite. I have all of their sauces because it's the only ones that I will eat. And there's only 3 grams of fat in this for the same amount. 14 versus 3. Like, come on, people, let's be smart. Plus, it even tastes good. Like, there are some things that I will say, like, I just have to suck it up and have the macros for it because the alternative sucks. But this is actually really good, and I'm like a ranch freak. So, you know what's good if I eat it. Also, the SG Hughes or whatever, that brand, the sugar-free like barbecue sauces and stuff, those have really good macros too because your ketchup and your barbecue sauces and everything else are going to be, again, jacked up with sugars, so there will be a lot of carbs in it. Just 2 more. This one some people can't get on board with, which I get, but I don't really drink a whole lot of plain milk, so it doesn't bother me. Plain milk versus almond milk. This is going to be, again, more carb focused. So this has 18 grams of carbs, whereas this only has 2 grams of carbs. Again, you need to be tracking all this stuff. So, I don't know. I just like almond milk, so it doesn't really make any difference to me. And like I said, I don't really drink plain milk out of a cup. So this I just kind of put in my coffee in the morning or in my mug cakes and different things like that. And last but not least, obviously I could go on for like a bajillion of these, but these are the ones that I use most often throughout my day. I used to think these Clif Bars were so good for you until I started tracking and I was like, there's like a lot of carbs and no protein. So this has, in 1 bar, 42 grams of carbs and only 9 grams of protein. I thought this was like a big protein source, and turns out it's just carbs. So that was kind of depressing. 42 grams of carbs in this versus the level 1 protein bars, which only has 20 grams of carbs, or 19 grams of carbs and 20 grams of fat. Oh my god. 19 grams of carbs and 20 grams of protein. So, much better alternative. Plus, these taste way flippin' better. There's like literally no, there's not even a comparison between these because these have better macros and they taste better. Like, this is just like thrown out the window for me. But, anyways, just wanted to share some of those so that you guys had ideas on some different shifts that you can make within your diet to fit those numbers easier. Also, like I said, please reach out to me if you have any questions on any of this, if this was helpful, if you need macros set up for you or whatever. Reach out to me so that I can get you set up with numbers, get you rocking and rolling. If you don't know how to count, no biggie deal. No biggie deal. Did I just say that? No big deal. Wow. Okay. It's like 5 o'clock and I clearly need to go to bed. I can't talk. Anyways, so on that note, I will talk to you guys later this week. I'm going to film a full day of eating. So, on that note, goodbye, subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends, do all the stuff so that I can move out of my parents' house. Thanks. Bye. Peace out.